So by clicking on Chart of Accounts, we can go to see the backbone of our company, so the entire structure that makes up the way that we are transacting. Okay. Now what you're seeing here is the demo chart of accounts, or the default chart of accounts that comes with Business Central. So if you were to decide to go for the system, by default you'd get something that looks like this, but that's not to say that it can't be changed. So you can define what your number series is, you can define all these descriptions and change as you need to. Okay. Everything with a hyperlink you can drill down into. So if we have a look at income from services, I can click into the balance and see how that's made up. If I then want to quickly refine by a different nominal code, if I know the number, then I can type it in here. Or if I want to see my entire general ledger, all I need to do is delete the filter and it will show me my entire list. Very easy then to start filtering by the date something was posted. So we can see going back to 2017, we can just see some opening balances, but then refining by most recent, we can see our most recent transaction on GL as it is a payment that's been made there. So we'll revisit this, but you can search the GL as well if you need to get somewhere quickly. Okay. Now, going into a nominal code or an account code, depending on which way you want to look at it, gives us a number of options. So we can specify everything from that base number through to a description. We can then specify whether it forms part of the income statement or the balance sheet, and then we can start assigning categories and subcategories. Yeah. Now, if you do find the subcategory and click on it, then the system will automatically fill in other areas for you. So there are a number of shortcuts based on subcategories that you might have set up that makes it a little bit easier to create these codes. You will then see a number of toggles. So we can specify whether it's a reconciliation account and other elements. And we can also specify whether we will allow direct posting into this account, which leads us on quite nicely to talking a little bit about posting. Okay, so direct posting means that we can take something from either a sales transaction or a purchase transaction and lodge that straight to the nominal or account code that we see in front of us here. If I didn't have direct posting selected, then this means that I can only push something into this nominal or account code by using something set up via a posting group. Okay. Our posting groups are a powerful facility in Business Central where we can set certain rules for the way that we transact within Business Central. So if I just switch to a PowerPoint presentation that I have here, I just wanted to talk a little bit through the different types of posting groups that we have available to us. Okay, so at top level, we've got general business posting groups and general product posting groups. Now, these two work together to dictate how we want to categorize our customers and suppliers and how we want to categorize the different products and services that we may transact. Okay, we then use the general posting setup to tie those two together to dictate where we want certain transactions to end up on our chart of accounts. So if I quickly go back into Business Central and I search for general posting, I can see the way that the default system is set up. Okay, now it is probably recommended that you keep the base setup if you start using the system, just because all of the various rules and stuff are already working in the background. But as I say, if you do want us to work with you to create your own structure, that's absolutely fine. Okay, but we can see here we've got a number of business posting groups depending on where that customer is. So we've got domestic for UK transactions, EU for EU transactions, and export for international transactions. And we can see on here exactly where we want the balance to go when we start transacting, both on the sales side and the purchase side. So we can go in and we can just select the nominal code that we want that to drop into. Okay. Now, when we start looking at customers and suppliers, you'll see the way that we can allocate these different business posting groups to take some of the effort out of it for us. So the theory being that as soon as you've got a customer or a supplier set up with these posting groups, the system will do the rest for you unless you want to manually change anything during transactions. Okay. So next element relates to VAT or tax. Depending on what part of the world that you're in. So you've either got tax business posting group, tax product posting, but of course when going into Business Central, it's referred to as VAT. And similar to the general business posting, you've then got your tax posting set up, which combines the two to dictate how much tax we want to allocate to specific transactions. So if I go back into Business Central and this time search for VAT posting, I can show you what that looks like as well. So VAT posting setup, similar to business posting and product posting, we can go in and we can specify where we want our various VAT to end up. So we can see for domestic customers, for products that we specify as full normal VAT, as standard VAT here, this one, we can see that 20% there going to this account for sales and this account for purchasing. So you can specify what you want that to be if you want to. Okay. Last elements within posting then refer to specific areas the way that we want our business set up. So we can go to the nth degree if we want to, adding more flexibility. Some people choose to keep it simple, but you do have the ability to be as specific as you like. So you have customer, vendor or supplier, inventory, bank account and fixed asset posting to really give you control over when you are transacting in these different areas where you want that to display on your chart of accounts. So customer and supplier posting, obviously it specifies your accounts receivables and accounts payable transactions, but within those you can also specify if you're having any sort of payment discounts or interest accounts that you want added in there, where you want those to go. Looking at inventory, it's different from product posting, so let's not get that confused. This is where you can indicate exactly when you're managing inventory, where you want the various costs associated to be posted. So, you know, if it's work in progress within production, or if you've got material variances, if you're buying in at different costs, you can specify where they want to go. And then obviously bank accounts and fixed assets for tracking acquisition cost, depreciation and the like. So to get into those, you do have to search by those individual areas, but let's say that I wanted to go into bank account posting. If I've searched that term right, there you go, bank account posting groups, I can go in and specify where I want each of my bank accounts to post to within my chart of accounts. So as I say, the system does get very powerful if you do start making use of the more advanced elements of posting. But as I say, it's as simple as you want it to be, so you don't have to use all of that complexity if you don't want to, okay? But because we've got this direct posting ticked, or toggled on, what that means, if we were to try and post something directly into income from services, the system also needs to know if it's a specific product or it adheres to a specific type of VAT where that posts as well. Yeah, so it's going to segment that transaction from either, in this instance, sales transaction, either by invoice or journal, and then once something goes there, it's then going to look to these other areas to post all of the various other balances that we need to keep track of as well. Okay. So again, if I go into the hyperlink here within income from services, and I take the example of this invoice, which we can see is set to sale in general posting. We've got the business posting group as export and then the product posting group as services. If I then go into entry and navigate, I can see exactly from that particular transaction what's gone in the background. So if I go into GL entries, I can see what's gone on there. So we can see that we've got the invoice registered there against these GL accounts based on my posting setup. I can go into VAT and I can see exactly where it's posted that VAT amount based on that as well. Okay, so very easy to drill down and see exactly what's going on in the system. Okay, there is a way that you can preview posting when you are transacting. So before you post something and you want to see where it's going to register those balances, you can do that as well, and we'll revisit that slightly later. Okay. To order Dynamics 365 licenses or to sign up to a 30-day free trial, navigate to d365.link/now.